health and lifestyle, and one of the most important things that people have to understand, as Ndenya here has rightly put it, there is food for the soul, there is your image, and there is also your perception. So her name is Ndenya, but I'll allow her to introduce herself officially.
My name is Ndenya Macharia. I am an image consultant, and I love working with different people, individuals, corporates, in three main areas: appearance, behavior, and communication. And so when you talk about health, lifestyle, we are mostly on the appearance side, and then as we move into the corporate space, we go into behavior and communication.
But when you talk about you know, when it comes to body weight and people's perception of self, people struggle. One of the guys here said that well, before he lost weight, I'm sure he's laughing about it now, but before he lost weight, he said he's shinge alikuwa ameshikana na.
Right.
And so when people look in the mirror, most people don't like what they see.
And I'll say this, there's been a lot of influence from the world. So we'll say whether it's social media today, before it used to be magazines when we were growing up, it was magazines that told us what was beautiful and what was not.
Right.
And then we went into now the TV age, we went into now social media. We are bombarded with images of what the world tells us is beautiful and what people should look like.
Right.
Yet, technically, everyone was created wonderful in the image and in the likeness of God.
That's right.
We are wonderful. Right. And then, yes, we may have a little more weight than we'd like. We may have a little more, or a skin tone we don't prefer. However, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, one of the things I was even talking with Hanif, and I was telling her, we must be able to celebrate ourselves for who we are and how we look. We must begin to have positive conversations to ourselves about ourselves. Because if we don't, the world is already going to bombard you with, you're not too good, you're not, you're fat, you're thin, you're small, you're big, you're tall, and yet we were created in a variety of ways.
Right.
And so when it comes to and size is a big deal for people, and I'll say that even in this nation. And you'll find now that we've come from not post-corona, we're still in the corona age.
Yes.
When people meet you and they haven't seen you for a long time, the first thing they say, I know that's usually
both sides.
Way of communicating.
Default setting,
Default setting as a nation. And so for me, it's about changing the way we greet one another and the way we see one another. That we begin to see one another for, Will is such a wonderful person. He makes my mornings extremely entertaining. And I love it. And then we begin to see ourselves for who we are and the values that we bring. Because that's what the personal brand is. What values, what attributes, what expertise do we bring to the table? Because when it comes down to the wire, you're not going to be paid because of your size. Right. You're going to be paid because of what you bring to the table and what it is that you do. And so we as image consultants, our job is to help people, one, navigate the space, love the body they're in, dress for the body they're in right now, and not for the dream body. Because a lot of people are in waiting. Yes. When I lose the kilos is when I will look like a superstar. Yet, if you actually begin to dress for the body that you have, you may like yourself a lot more. And so we help people navigate that space, find what works for them, what works for their skin tone. Did you know that there are certain colors that make you look bad? There are certain colors that make you look better. There are certain colors that make you look excellent. There are certain looks that people will look at you and be like, oh my God, this guy looks amazing. And they'll immediately give you the job. And the other looks that people will be like, this one. So technically what we do is help people in that journey, navigate the space for their image, because image is about perception, what people see and perceive you to be bringing to the table. And that's the space that we're playing in.
And so for somebody who is watching today and they don't like what they see in the mirror, in fact, and it's normally because, you know, I've been in that space as well, where you look at the mirror, you don't like it, but then again, you don't have the motivation enough to change it as well. So every day you beat yourself down as you look in the mirror. So what can that person do? So
let's start with food for the soul.
Okay.
A lot of the times on this show I've seen, we talk about nutrition, eat this, eat that. We talk about health. I mean, there's Hamad.
No, it's okay.
I watch these guys and I'm like, I have Hamad for them. However, we forget another aspect of the whole health space, and that's mental health, and that's the food for the soul, nutrition. What are we putting in? And so I feel like a lot of us are not putting in the right things when it comes to the environments that we are in, when it comes to what we take in as social media and the content that we consume. So if I'm going to spend the whole day looking at skinny people on Instagram, I am going to feel bad about myself. If you're going to spend the day looking at GQ and men with or watching these people and thinking, I want to be like that, you're going to feel bad about yourself. And so the first space that we can start is the positive affirmations.
Right.
So our words are connected to what we become. I'll give the example of God. We all know that God is all-knowing, all-powerful, all everything.
Right.
He looked at the world and said, let there be light. He could have said Nikubaya. It was dark, it was void, but he said what he wanted to see happen.
That's right.
And as a result, it became. And so for us, we must begin to be positive in our confessions about ourselves. So as opposed to saying, how about
that's a pretty accurate
fearfully and wonderfully made.
Right.
How about I am an excellent entertainer? How about my body is going to do what I've told it to do? My body will I love healthy food. I love to exercise, because we always say I hate exercising, and then we try to go to the gym. And then we try to go to the gym, and what happens is we are just negating what we're trying to do. And so having a list of positive affirmations is a good place to start. Telling yourself every morning when you wake up, put it up on your mirror, on your dashboard, on your steering wheel, somewhere that you can see and visualize, and tell yourself that I am great, I am wonderful, I'm loving, I'm caring. And when you begin to fill yourself with the positive attributes, then it's easy to fix the other things.
Right.
And so the positive is the first place. The second, seek help. I say when your car is broken down, you're not going to go to your bank and be like, gari yangu imeharibika, nitafanya. No, you're going to take it to the mechanic. And so if you're not happy with your visual appearance, then seek the services of someone who can help you, whether it's a stylist, whether it's a makeup artist, whether it's someone who can help you navigate the body that you're in, because we make people look really good. Whether it's by adding some this or removing some that. And it may be just going through your closet and doing an audit and saying, you know what, this outfit, when you wear it, this is what people think and see. But if you wear this other look, this is what we're going to think and see. And so those are some of the basic steps. Seek good services. Find people who can help you in that space, as opposed to wearing the same clothes and so
depression.
And then depression is a real thing.
It is.
And people are going through, especially after what we went through in 2020, where jobs ilikatika, things didn't go as well as they should have. And so some people may need actually to get services of people who can help them navigate the mental space and dealing with things like depression. You've been out of a job, so what do you result in doing? Binging, binge eating, binge watching, binge whatever it is. The result of that, probably your body is the type that the metabolism doesn't work too well. You are going to put on weight, or you are not going to look your best or even feel your best. I like to tell people, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, then it's easy to do good. It's easy to change the world. But if you're feeling bad, first you rub it off on other people. Have you ever noticed the people who don't look good and who feel bad about themselves?
Specifically.
Are those who are always spewing
they project
negativity. They're the ones who come and say, umefanya nini na nywele? Willis, are you serious? Umefanya hiyo tisho? They're always looking at things from a negative perspective. And what we want to do is stay away from those people, stay away from toxic relationships, stay away from, and then stick to healthy and things that will bring you positivity.
What about, you mentioned something about the environment, and so maybe you're in a place, in family, work, something you're trying to work on, your weight, your image and everything. Is it important to sensitize the people around about the things that you're doing?
Yes, it's important, and it's important to also correct them or tell them. If they say, tell them, by the way, this is my journey, and I would appreciate if you respect my journey. Tell them, by the way, I don't need your comments, thank you. You'll be surprised, they will zip it. And when they do, then you have less outward pressure, because the outward pressure is what gives you inward pressure. When you start thinking, most of the time with image, it's what are people going to think about me. And the minute they begin to say the things that they're thinking, then you get depressed, then you get sad. Now we're going into the season of love. It's Valentine's this weekend. Guys are going to start feeling, oh my God, what am I going to wear?
Where am I going to wear? Who am I going to be with?
Who am I going to be with? Yeah, and then if they don't have,
you
spiral into the depression. And so I say, if you have somebody, find the perfect look so that you can impress that person. If you don't, find the perfect look for yourself. Be beautiful for you. Wear that makeup, wear that nice dress on that day, and celebrate yourself. Self-love is a big deal when it comes to having a perfect image. Yeah,
we're going to talk about that more, probably because time is quick. Yeah, in Asia, but we have to talk about more of these things next time. Probably we'll have to talk about self-love, which is a topic I think many people have so many quotes about it, but I don't know if they really, or if people, or even if I understand the real going into it and fighting with your shadows and everything. But just finally, because I've seen some questions online, and mostly from pregnant women trying to get back. How would you help as a lady who's just given birth get back and get back the image? Yeah.
My baby's 2 months.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. How do you help? How do you get back?
It's not about getting back. It's about first celebrating yourself.
Yes.
You carried life for 9 months. That is not an achievement. That's when you need a badge. You put it here, and it allows you entrance into anywhere you want to go.
That's right.
And so the first thing is to celebrate yourself, and the other thing is to take it easy. Relax. Take care of your baby. And then after that, start taking care of yourself. Do the small things, the mani-pedi, the small things, and don't beat yourself over the weight gain, because that's part of it.
But she snapped back faster than me, or
the bodies are totally different.
Right.
And I will say this categorically. The body shaming that comes with people who have just had babies should stop.
That's right.
And that's for the collective soul of the Kenyans.
That's right.
We need to stop body shaming people.
That's right.
And appreciate the fact that people are going through different stages and different places of their lives. So once you don't focus on what other people are saying and focus on yourself, you'll be surprised that with the right, in time, it usually gets better.
Right.
In time. But usually we want to have a quick fix, which with our bodies and with life, there's no quick fix. If you had your baby naturally, if you had a CS, there are certain processes that you must go through that are challenging, that are hard. However, ultimately, you do get the results that you're looking for if you have a positive attitude and if you keep to whatever works for your body. And if you don't know what works for your body, then seek help.
Right.
If you don't know how to dress your new body, I was making fun with Hanifa and I was telling her, I'm dressing up for my current new body. And it's helping because I know what the tricks are. I am not trying to force to be my previous body.
Right.
I'm happy with my current body and I'm dressing my current body. When I move to the next one, I will dress that body.
All right.
As opposed to the dream. Because we usually have a dream and then we go buy clothes based on the dream and then we try and wear them. And what ends up happening? People look at you and they're like,
not working.
And then they tell you. And then you get into the depression. So what would I say? If you look good, you're going to feel good.
Right.
And if you feel good about yourself, then everything else is possible.
It's going to work. Okay. So definitely before we end up, before we meet next time, people want to know how can they contact you? How can they reach you? On what platforms as well?
They can reach me on my website, ndenya.com, or they can reach me on all platforms at Ndenya Macharia. My personal phone number is on my website. So if you go there, you can actually DM me, text me, and I will be happy to give services. Let's say we'll give a percentage off for Valentine's. For the people who want to look something
special.
Something. So Will is whether you can come see me. You can come see me. I can work it out for you.
I'll probably take you up for that.
I can work it out for you.
Fresh.
After we've come from Hema and Rumba dance.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming through. We're definitely going to have you here again.
Thank you for having me.
If you're free, probably next week, talk more about this. I really think we need to talk about what you talked about, self-love.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll organize for that. Make sure you follow her, like she said, ndenya.com, Ndenya Macharia on all platforms. Na kuna ka offer ka Valentine. So kimbieni hapo hivyo. But asanteni sana.
Thank you.
And like I always say, remember, God loves you and that will never change. And successful people look like you. Devi, usijaribu kuni mute. I'm in mute. Manchester United is great as well. As well. See you guys tomorrow.